So, Mercedes Russell, we're going to talk about this one because I don't really want to talk about the Dijonais situation for the entirety of the stream again. I really don't. I really, really don't. So, we're going to talk about Mercedes Russell, and we're going to talk about potentially why Mercedes Russell could be a good signing. And do I believe that Mercedes Russell is the right player for the Fever? No. Do I believe Mercedes Russell is the right player for this current era of the WNBA? Hell no. Hell no. Do I believe that Mercedes Russell is somebody that at the WNBA level is a good player? No. But Mercedes Russell is one of those players that was good back in the day. She was good back in the day. And those type of players tend to be good for the Fever. The aerial powers of the world. The Odyssey Sims. Like, the Fever have this weird thing that they somehow get the best out of washed players. They just do. Like, say what you want. The Indiana Fever tend to get the best out of washed players. And they did it with all the players last year. And Mercedes Russell is like turbo washed. She is completely and utterly washed. Like, she averaged like 1 point per game last year. But she was good at some stage in her career. And this is her last chance. Like, if she is good with the Indiana Fever, we saw it with Odyssey Sims. Odyssey Sims made some half decent money. If it turns out that she ends up playing well, she could get herself back in the league. Like, she could potentially get herself back in the league. So those players tend to do well in Indiana because it's last chance saloon for them. Because if they play bad in Indiana, we've seen it. Has a player ever played badly in Indiana and didn't go to UConn and stayed in the league? No. Even some players play well in Indiana, like Ariel Powers, and are out of the league. No player has ever played badly in Indiana and stayed in the league. The Christy Wallaces of the world are out of the league. I wouldn't even say Erica Wheeler played badly in Indiana because Erica Wheeler was super in the 2023 season before Caitlin Clark got there. She averaged 10 points and 6 assists a game or something? But yeah, that is the only. I'm trying to think of a positive thing because you might be saying, "Oh, they need size." There's no good team that's running a slow 6'6" player. Maybe they're trying to zag while other teams are zigging. They're gonna go and zag. I don't know. But yeah, it is. It's just one of those things where I think a lot of people were kind of hoping that the Fever could do better. And so did I. Like, Mercedes Russell is the most uninspiring signing ever. It's absolutely the most uninspiring signing ever made. I really do hope that she can prove me wrong. And these are the type of signings that the Fever made all of last season. Shea Petty as well. And they worked. That's the one thing I'll always give the Fever credit for, is that I didn't like the Odyssey Sims signing. I didn't like the Ariel Powers signing. I liked the Ari McDonald signing. That was the only one that I liked. I liked the Ari signing. I didn't like the Shea Petty signing. I didn't like the Kyra Lambert signing. I didn't like the Bree Hall signing. I didn't like any of those signings last year. And they all pretty much worked out other than Kyra Lambert. So these type of mid-season signings tend to work from the front office. So we have to talk about it, and we have to trust the process, I guess. Like, we can complain about the front office, and I'm going to talk about that in another video about why it could, this signing doesn't make any sense. But even if we're talking about the signing, some of the signings made no sense last year. Like, Bree Hall made no sense. No sense whatsoever. Kyra Kyra Lambert made no sense whatsoever. Whatsoever. All of these signings that the Indiana Fever have made have been, like mid-season, have been let's go and bring in vets. And maybe vets are players that can come in and make an impact short term. And we don't need much out of her. We literally need, can you get us a couple of rebounds here and there? Are you cool with DNPing? And are you okay with playing with coming in and in your very limited minutes giving all you've got because she is slow? And that's all you can really hope from Mercedes Russell, because Mercedes Russell has never scored more than, I think, is it 6 points per game in her career. But like, teams were paying her big money. Like, big money. She made a max contract last season. And like, the only reason she got cut last year was pretty much because she got cut because they had Cam Brink and they wanted to sign Julie Vanloo. They needed to bring her in, or they needed to cut her to sign Vanloo, and Brink was coming back, so they didn't need another big. And she was unprotected. So I can kind of see what they were doing there. But it just feels like this is another uninspiring signing for the Indiana Fever. And it just feels like, unless somehow this works out, we have to really question the front office. But there is a world where this works out, and that's the maddest part about this, is that this genuinely this could work out just because she's big. And I don't know. Like, do we trust the front office? Do we not? Like, this is kind of the last chance saloon for the front office, because they didn't have to sign anyone. They've been playing without Dantas the whole year. He's only played in like 8 games. They didn't have to sign him, and they could have waited till after the World Cup. They had an entire World Cup break where they could have watched every single team in the league, and there's about, outside of USA, there's about 4 centers that are in the WNBA. They could have watched the whole World Cup and seen who was killing it. World Cup has ranking placements. They could have seen what non-WNBA player was killing it. And I'm pretty sure they place up to 8th in the World Cup. And they really could. Like, they really could go and could have waited. So, front office, they're kind of going for, they have to kind of go for this one. They have to go for it. Like, they have to get this one right. Otherwise, I think Amber might lose her job. Like, I really think Amber might lose her job, and it doesn't help. It doesn't help that Amber is an op as well. Like, it doesn't help that before she signed Sid Colson and Dewana Bonner and Bree Turner, who have all gone out of their ways to shit on, to go back to celebrating the fans that called them every slur under the sun after that Chicago game, to shit on the people that supported them during that time. And Amber's an op. Like, before all that, the first thing she did was to take a picture with 2 people who got fired from their jobs because of their uncontrollable hate towards Caitlin Clark. It is what it is. But yeah, what do you guys think?